Bugs on attack on Breeze were caught out quite a lot, but he's going walking on mid.
pAura's looking a little different today, but
Poison's off.
maybe things have changed even when you play Sova suddenly. So, in the meantime, it's Russ who's taking an aggressive stance for mid. Punishes draken for exactly that. They have made the move on the B side. I mean, they're on it, Ryan, but the spike's down. Now the after plan comes in, and it's going to be interesting.
Yeah, they're having to back off. They've got some bits of utility. Shock darts are going to be helpful in that post plant, and Sayf playing on that aggressive angle can dismiss if he gets the kill. And Russ isn't really looking in that direction to begin with. What? But still, somehow, Russ wins the duel down to 62 HP. Doesn't have a heal available to him. But the rest of SMB is there to clear.
There's a nice right click from Yacine, but this does not stop the defuse the slightest bit. He's walled off. He made his own little castle. And it might be cold on Icebox, but it seems like Turko and his boys are even ice cold. That was just...
To take that duel head on, has a bit of support at the very least, so if Draken gets taken down, he can't get traded. And SuperMassive Blaze tried to attempt for the trade, but Draken gets out relatively unscathed.
I feel like it's a bit of a deja vu that I'm here witnessing. Is this the same round as a replay, or is this all happening? But pAura being eliminated, this is the change in it. It's becoming a bit of a problem here for SMB to retake this properly as Izzy's coming there back from Snowman. They are just entering the site and the spike properly. Yacine is playing where we saw Sayf previously, is whiffing the shot unfortunately as well, and Russ is getting closer and closer. The retake wall is up, and Russ is trying to hold them up. Starts good with bonkar, is looking keen to get the second, and it should not be a situation where Guild will thrive as Draken tries his best. He's out, and the ace from Russ. It might have been just a bit of a bonus, but it looks beautiful. At the end of the day, put the wall up again, get the spike down, and they expect Draken to be back there. So that wall's down, this might just cause problems, but as Yacine is lurking around the side, the spike's coming down either way. You know, if Izzy, with his little tippy-toe silent around up there in kitchen, knows where Sayf is around, Sayf can't escape Turko nevertheless. And that should be done and dusted, except Leo has a magic response to it. Starts off good. Brave has been beheaded, but two more are to come. He's dashing away, fakes it out. Leo to his right-hand side, gotta be careful! Oh, but no, he's getting caught when he's just having bow and arrow out. And that doesn't work at all. It's a proper defense from SMB. The first time where it looks a little bit tight, but it's still successful at the end of the day.
I mean,
you don't need to really have a master's degree in mathematics to be aware that this is 100% over there on the B side. A good combination, but that does possibly deny bonkar. Yes, it is! He's falling out early, and pAura, the first time debut with that, it's working brilliantly. It's disastrous to a certain degree, Ryan. Really, I don't see Guild taking such a round again, except Draken has a wonderful time.
I don't want to put too much stock onto this round for Guild just because of the money. The Bladestorm was dedicated.
Uh-oh.
Now we still...
No!
Even when Draken isn't spotted out early round, he still can't confirm a kill or get SuperMassive Blaze to panic. But what about Sayf? The defuse has been fully stuck by Brave, and that's because it's been washed by multiple SuperMassive Blaze players. And I think you could just see the gaps in where you would see that breach util, and there's gaps that SuperMassive Blaze can sneak into.
That's a good start here from Russ. He's taking out Yacine, who was overstepping the mark. Same goes here for bonkar.
Spike down A.
And over there on the other side of the map, we see Draken, but he's not really contributing too much to the attack we're seeing, except they're moving backwards. But getting the spike, this is the main objective right now for the guys. And the options are most definitely limited. Leo has to get a double here to make it work, gets none. pAura is chiming in and swings wide exactly when needed. Russ is even being revived. And it could be Draken. Again, I mean, this man has been on perfect lurk so far throughout the series. He's kind of known for that, but the spike has been delivered on a silver platter here. It's impossible to obtain that. It should be impossible. I mean, with such a dink,
he still loses the fight.
It's disastrous.
I mean, it's great for SuperMassive Blaze.
Oh, yeah.
For it all to be super negative. Like, the fact that SuperMassive Blaze are not overstepping boundaries, you know, there is that sort of meme that Turkish teams are going to be super aggro. Know what I want to see differently from them overall. It's hard to take that mid-space. SuperMassive Blaze have got it all locked on. Draken is still watching these areas, trying to catch these rotations, but SuperMassive Blaze have been so cool, calm, collected on these retakes. it wouldn't surprise me if Turko just doesn't move from that position in mid.
No, the simple retake wall they always play as well. It's just making it so easy. Now they make sure that nobody comes around flanking. Wall used very late, funnier-wise. And here it comes. The retake is initiated. The process has started. And Turko is getting a shot into the head of Sayf. Now, though, there is still an option in the form of Leo. Yacine is pushing through. The man is absolutely nuts. He's just holding W and shooting, but he's falling with that again. It can't work every time. Still, it could be just everything from Izzy. Bonkar with the triple, as you just wanted to say. It could be more coming in from in, but Izzy, he has the reply. He has the 4K, but the defuse, will he have that? Not at all.
No time. These layers are always impactful.
Oy.
Screaming some really good ones to try and clear onto the site. And Yacine does find that space, tagged by the L-drone, so he's going to take a bit of a back seat. The Viper's Pit finally in use from Draken.
Uh-oh.
And Izzy spots Sayf as he just takes a little peek. It was a bit of timing as well to know that a player was going to try and get out in that position, but it creates a lot of space for pAura at the same time.
So, the irreducible pain that Guild had to feel so far might just even get worse. pAura's getting in there, he's getting into it, and he's finding Draken. So that one is out, and so it could be working quite well. The walls that have been so far delivered from SuperMassive Blaze for the recade have been perfect, but bonkar might just have a good timing. He's going for it. We'll find one on the right-hand side. Can he deny the half? He cannot deny the half. bonkar, you're so smart, and you're getting them all. bonkar with the quad, and this is what you want to see this guy do. He's usually not on top of the scoreboard, but a clutch from King bonkar is bringing them back on the throne.
There's only one or two things happen there, like a
Passion you want to lose, it's definitely not what we're looking for. And this is the momentum building up for Guild.
told you these A hits have been pretty good for Guild. Difficult opponent to face. The fact that Brave trades that is really impressive, and that lurk from Draken, he just can't really find that lurk potential. Everything has had a good read, and no, Guild have found themselves a couple of kills. The Lurk King, no, is in a nice position.
He is. For a second, it seemed like Leo will check him, but he can't deny one. Does he know that someone is just above him? Yes, he's aware. Oh, this is so smart from pAura. And the big brain that's coming out is just working so well. bonkar not spotted, sees one on his left-hand side, and he's once more the clutch player. pAura is an easy frag, but he can't find the one on Izzy. Unfortunate for him, and the 8th that is now secured for SMB. A close round again, but the thing you mentioned, Ryan, an extremely important point is,
creates an opening, but we saw pAura absolutely punish.
Well, yield. Yacine is definitely going for it. Those gloves are off, and this is some bare knuckle boxing coming in from him as he's sending his staggers in the direction of pAura, but he's not checking close on Russ. A little unfortunate, a little odd. And Brave is curious to find a little more, but bonkar's here to take him out.
He's been the best performer on this map now at this point. A couple of more players have been quiet, and I think that's just sums up Guild perfectly as well as just confidence. Like, none of these players are just bad, but if they're not feeling it and they start to feel the pressure a little bit, they can really have some woeful rounds, and that really does come down to everybody. This could be an awkward one now as nobody's actually checking on top. Sayf gets punished from a bit of a bad time, like rough timing from Guild and a bit of a bad peak overall, but a spike has gone down again. And it's a decent post plant, all things considered.
It's a very interesting positioning, but at the same time, the wall is technically giving their opponents an opportunity as well if it could go that far. They might just not even expect it. They might just not be so sure, and this is why we might see the flank coming in from spawn, be like, yeah, this is going to be the default plan. We are having an easy time here, but that is not happening. Is he patiently hoping his teammates arrive in time? Because otherwise, his position as Snowman might be just not as valuable as some might think.
Yeah, he doesn't want to be left out to dry for the most thing. Izzy's done well to just take this patiently, but time is starting to really get awkward now. Leo, nobody's really cleared him yet, but now they have. The timing's good. The defuse is going to make things really awkward, but not enough time. Good stall from Guild. And a third on the board. You said 4-8. When you said it, I was kind of like, we'll see. It's just a selfless play. He will literally give up guns and run around with a classic for his teammates to have them, but right now, the Hunter's Fury coming in from pAura. We see Guild just dance around it a little bit. No tags at all onto Guild. And Yacine holding a nice angle here, very aggressive. The Slob's trying to catch any players that want to push a bit beyond. I gotta say, Leo's recon darts have been great, and Draken, he needs to win that fight. Luckily he does, and he gets away just in time for us to try and trade out.
He does, but Draken at the same time is not allowed
not
to die.
watching it.
Yep, and Leo might be like, mate, by the way, do you got behind? No, I gotta go for the lineup. He heard it. He must have heard it. He did hear it. And Draken is so out. Turko's getting more, and this brings it only down to one. It is Turko. It is a wall. It is a revive. It is his options being limited, but how much will he get out of that? 80 HP are still left, and it could be the clutch that the team needs, but Sayf is making it a fourth and is making it possible. It looked absolutely disastrous in the dark clouds over Guild. It's a bit of sun coming through there, but for how long is the question?
Through this, the wall is going to try and stop things, but ultimately, Sayf leaves bruised and battered.
Poison's off.
You gotta make sure that he's getting that heal from bonkar, and that is the case. It's looking better for him now, but 82 is definitely not ideal. And no more armor. It's a few classic shots or one in the head that's gonna end his career in this round very swift, but SMB is patient. They're taking their time. They're not stressing it out at all. It's purely just them playing down the clock. It's just purely down to the clock. And Yacine, that long-range duel with the Sheriff, that's obviously interesting.
Just needs to dash out. If he could, he needs to break the Eldron or get tagged. If he gets killed here, it's just a needless 5 versus 4 in favor of SuperMassive Blaze. The dash is still available. He hasn't used it. Recon that's going to make things difficult. And this is what you've seen as being great at, is just taking positions of the map and being difficult, but he doesn't have any smokes left. That was one thing that Jet received recently, is one less smoke to work with. He gets out alive at 2 HP, gonna get healed up from bonkar.
It's still not an ideal scenario here for Yacine, not holding them up for too much, but the spike's gonna go down, and that is a problem now for Guild. As we see, the retake utility is pretty much limited. The wall has been used to slow as well. There's nothing really left than getting for those duels and popping and plugging some hits. Oh, Izzy is showing his best to do that as he's getting one after another back there behind Yellow. Dashes away and is creating a lot of time for his teammates. Sayf now needs to give us his best impression. But no chance. It's only down to Draken. Will he realize where pAura is? Yes, indeed. That's a nice right click. The chances are still there. You gotta make it swift. You gotta make it fast. But Turko is ending it. And that's, at the moment, with what we have, it shouldn't be too many options left. Yacine is staying hidden, waiting out, and timing. It's not bringing anything to the guys from Guild. Draken already falls, and, well, Izzy has a lot of objectives to hit. bonkar is taking one down, but there's not much more he gets for the moment. It's a lot of pressure build. They don't get the spike down. It's costing them time. And as he anti-wall there, as you see, you see, close to getting a new haircut, but there it goes. Easy shot to hit. And this brings him only down to 2. The Swedes most definitely running out of options at that point, and with 20 HP, you're not gonna do much.
Slowly scale and take that space, but the fact that Guild are pushing from various places at the same time is a little bit worrying, but Yacine finds the opening, and Sayf is going to push on from that. Can't get caught out. The trade is going to be a difficult one from this angle if Brave is watching it. Now the Eldron is going to be used to see if they can clear out Yacine towards B.
That's not going to have the range. Will it? pAura is finding it in time. And as Brave is finally taken out, the Viper eliminated from the attack of SMB, as they seem to charge towards A, or at least their feelers out if they want to go there. 2-minute advantage should give Guild that fifth, that must win, that round that could put them back into the right direction. Most definitely not the driver's seat yet. So, little arrow comes in, the high ground and advantage of Izzy. Russ is starting good. bonkar eliminated, 15 points of health. And it's becoming problematic if they get the spike down, but it actually happens. pAura's getting the one on the ground. I'm not quite sure how much retake potential he has at that point in time. More likely how much lineup potential, but it doesn't change the matter of fact that left, right, and centers the player are coming in and they bring it home. The must win is getting...
Viper's Pit is going to be really annoying to move from Draken.
And they'll go for it. I mean, they enter it. Yacine is close. As the wall goes down, let's see if the drone is going to catch him, because then he got to be fast. But there the wall comes up. It doesn't hit anything. It doesn't tag something. And over on the A side, nothing has happened. Absolute peace over there. And the entirety of SMB focusing to get deep down B. Nope, they're backing off for now.
Just want to make things awkward. It's pulled a lot of players over from Guild. Russ is going to stay around. It's one of those cases where Yacine will want to peek to see if there's anybody there, to see if this is a bit of a rotate, but the risk isn't worth it. And I think those decisions have been noticeable from Guild. They haven't overstepped it. They haven't faced into danger. Man, just Leo gets so much information off these recon dots, hitting multiple players. It's the usual utility you see, but the timing is so different to most people, it catches SuperMassive Blaze off guard.
timing could become a problem.
seconds
If he
left.
doesn't check for Yacine, he's having a problem, but Izzy does, has to back off, and now this is a good bit of information. At the same time, there's nothing really slowing the side of SMB. Turko's getting safe. Leodo has the antidote to pAura at least, and knows Turko's close as well. That's not as ideal as they might have expected. 13 seconds, by the way, to get that spike down. And it's on the ground. It's on the cold metal. And nevertheless, it's going to be hit in the ground. The spike
There they are.
is going according to plan, and this leaves it only down to 3, with a lurk from draken most likely being expected by SMB. I would be surprised if they are not aware about it. No, it doesn't seem to be the case. Brave is the first one falling, and the next casualty could be Izzy. If that is happening, that's a different story, that's a different case, but it's successfully only down to Russ, and he has to perform specifically. Such an agent can make it work, but Leo doesn't let that happen.
Yeah, smart decision making from Gil to sort of go hungry for the kill. Leo just sort of getting onto that distance. Draken just being annoying from behind. SuperMassive Blaze are looking a little more flustered now because Guild have been so good at controlling the map in the early stages. Time is not really on their side. They
Getting ready for trick or treat.
The plays like that, though, from SuperMassive Blaze do take a lot of attention. Not only do you have Sayf in that position keeping an eye, but bonkar went to help. Now he's over towards the A site expecting the hit. He doesn't have any slow orbs available anymore, but still has that heal. The shock darts are going to make breaking into this site difficult, and bonkar's able to sort of push off of that as well.
Entry kill coming in from him. Sayf is also taking down Izzy, and the entire patient seems to be worthless. He doesn't even get the orb, which could have been a...
It hasn't been placed this time, just to see if SuperMassive Blaze are going to push in that direction, but no, they're heading straight towards A.
Yeah, and you know, SuperMassive Blaze were definitely known for being a little slower. They are going full speed into this, but Sayf, he has a reply, but only for 2. Not much more he's getting out of that, and so the attack seems to be successful for now. Only 2 more remain, even make it 4. That's actually quite difficult, but Leo, he could consider to play it a bit more passively. He has his ult, and once they gained a bit more information, once they hear their spike being tapped, they could definitely try to trigger it. They could definitely try to make that one work. And here it goes. Tax 1. Does he get more? He does get actually a second. That's a quite successful Hunter's Fury. And this makes it go down to 44 and 70. The spike is going down, and it's looking like a decent one. Leo's going fast. And as he's so swift, he needs to get the kill. Does so. And pAura, his time to shine. That ain't it.
That's a difficult retake to play because there's still so much time on the board for SuperMassive Blaze. You don't
become an icy paradise, and again, I mean, I've seen this one before. Definitely going swift and fast over on the A side. Spike's gonna go down any second soon, and here you go. They have just rushed the site. No real problem, but the problem that now comes in is the ult. Brave has used it wisely. A good shock dart, as you see there on the right-hand side. Leo's waiting until he has another opportunity.
That's the thing, just the Aldrin a bit earlier on the Viper's Pit. It's such, like Aldrin's such a good bit of utility, but now it's just guns and spraying, hoping that they can catch on to where the Viper's playing from. Right on site, but Izzy's going to try and close that distance. He's trying to scale all of this positioning, but draken catches him. Now we're back into a 3 versus 3 as Turko is there trying to make things difficult again.
And the problem is they gotta be fast because there's still a pAura racing back there with his Hunter's Fury. But it's not like even the thing that time matters. It is even getting on the site that matters. SMB was putting that thing in drive or even in sports mode, and they were hitting the site in a matter of 20 seconds, something like that. Easily made it work. Knew we had that Viper's ult, the Viper's Pit ready, and suddenly
anything to use to take that space.
Poison orb emitting.
The worst about all of that, they couldn't even trigger the Hunter's Fury. That's one thing, and now it is coming in. They once more want to go for that A side, and so one of the crucial pillars of defense has already been eliminated. That's Sayf out. I mean, up close and personal, suddenly Izzy's jumping into the face of bonkar as well as previously of Yacine, and those are nasty frags. Looking for more. Leo is getting the double indeed, and suddenly it looks, well,
moving away,
exacerbated here.
I quite like the Viper's Pit just sort of used in the moment. It was funny just how it was placed, and there was more SuperMassive Blaze players in Guild's Viper's Pit than Guild players. They just took all of that space, but they couldn't find where Draken was playing from. He's the first to sort of rotate around in this position. Toxic screen is nice for those post-plant holds, and Leo needs to be very careful. That recon dart's going to be thrown out, and pAura's in a nice position to capitalize.
I'm not quite sure if that was a lineup because it doesn't seem to be going anywhere as it landed on top of a box, but it doesn't matter because bullets are the language that Draken speaks. Good damage he inflicted here onto Turko. And so pAura is dancing around the kitchen, trying to get a bit of information. He's definitely getting the attention. Yep, but Yacine, 36 HP. This is the problem. Oh, he's having a bit of a hard time right there, and he can't make it work. It's a 12th round. It looked possible, because initially they shut down the aggression from SMB, but over on the B... Sorry, this turn. Because things were looking good. Over on Breeze, it was all sunny, but now... It's quite sinister. Good stuff from Brave that he gets Leo. That's ridiculous, the shot he hits and the expectation he has for a player to be still back there. But either way, it's strong and solid from SMB. Spike's gonna go down, and so the retake's on. Sayf though finally comes in, eliminates Izzy. It's only 3 left on the Turkish side. And he's keeping up the fights. He's keeping up duels back there from Garage. The players, in the meantime, his teammates over on the side of B are trying to take down a player back from Yellow. And so the defuse could come in if Sayf wouldn't have died there. But it's only down to Turko. It's got to be a miracle round for him. But they're still alive. bonkar with another triple. And bonkar with some decent impact here. Do they get? But so far, we only haven't seen him on the Sova where he had some electrifying performances. Sayf is starting good. Russ is eliminated. And as they move back, they have a clear awareness of what's happening on A.
Just a recon that's constantly. It's just
good.
It's a different perspective as well, because this isn't a player that's been playing Sova since the closed beta. Like, he has such an open mind to trying different stuff out. Different lineups is what we see a lot from Guild and timings. And now Yacine's going to try and take a peek. I like the idea, and at least he's down into safety. But Sayf is on an angle, sees the scope of the gun, wins the shot once more before he dismisses. He wants to get some more of those kills, and he doesn't have a dismiss. Last layer is used. He's still going to be forward-facing.
At this point in time, it's just crucial to not gift any frags to SMB, because you give them an inch and they'll take a mile. Upgrade for Izzy, granted. Rifle in his hands, but 78 and 48 points of health. Another information dart, by the way, going through. It's crazy. I mean, that's high impact Leo has just purely with the information plays.
Sayf is still here. The ace is denied this time. We saw one from Russ earlier, but Izzy trades out. 1 versus 3, there's 20 seconds on the clock. There is time to sort of rotate if you're very, very quickly and use that tailwind. The draken was in behind anyway. It didn't matter. Leo, despite only not being the one to get the multi-kills, only getting the 1 in that round was pivotal to Sayf finding success. That duo between the two of them has been lightning. And it means that Yacine doesn't need to perform well all the time, right?
At the same time, you want Yacine to perform well. I'm fully on the side with you with that, but it is specifically with the role he's playing, I think somewhat the job you would expect. I mean, there are Jet players who are just there for openings, which is fully fine if the rest of the team can follow up and make it work.
It's the Scream Yampy succession, I suppose, of if Scream doesn't have a bad game, if Scream has a good game, sorry, Yampy doesn't need to play super aggressive with the op. He can be a bit more passive, which is what we've seen out of Yacine. He's still got the op. He's over on that A site on his own. He's going to just quickly adjust because the call has been made. The L drone is usually a high telegraph when it comes to being a B hit. Leo's going to use his a little bit further back. Has to hunt this Fury. He doesn't want to use it on targets that get tagged up. He's just waiting for that plant. The Guild are already in place.
Yeah, and that could add nasty because it's at the end of the day, a quiet, narrow path. Does he get one? Yup, pAura's out. That's important. The Hunter's Fury charging up the attack from Guild as it could be supercharged any second soon. Pardon, that's the defense, but it's more likely the retake that could have happened in the end. That didn't go. Turko will have a rough time if he really wants to go for the revive because that guy is pretty much out in the open, laying in the snow. So they go for it.
Probably one of the calls why they've scaled up so aggressively. And it's awkward places for Guild, or at least it was, but Leo continues to be an absolute marvel in this server on Icebox. The spike drop, this is where SuperMassive Blaze looks really problematic when it came to their attacks on Breeze. Just getting onto the site, getting killed in the process. Yeah. There is very little that these SMB players can do.
Except...
I mean, if they get the kill onto Yacine, I think the mental's going to be broken. He is one of the nicest guys, but he's very emotional. You know, he is one of the happiest guys, but you can tell that when they lose, he takes it incredibly hard.
Oh, yeah.
Which is something that I really respect about him. He cares. You can't say that he doesn't.
True.
But you don't ever want that to get in the way of a performance, right?
Emotions can turn both ways. At least, the interesting part in this is that they took out the majority of SMB. And that could be interesting now with the buy that we're going to witness. And going to be interesting if they're able to get Brave another ult orb. Because then he would have his pits. That could be pretty much a life insurance for round number 13. Sayf is sneaking through and finds one kill. That's good. But behind him, bonkar has to reply.
It's just the timing. It's just good enough. But SuperMassive Blaze are in a player disadvantage. The tempo of the rotate is fast. It's going to be heard, and Sayf's even going to spot it. I'm glad that he got out of there. He didn't overstep the mark. It's just this decision-making from Guild is just play to our strengths, play slow. We can't outpace these guys. Turko, that resurrect has to come in now or never. It does break.
No.
That could have been awkward if there was somebody holding it a bit closer. You seen with the operator, if he was a bit further up, he might be able to punish that. But luckily, SuperMassive Blaze get out of there scot-free, and it's a nice 4 versus 4.
All that noise that happened over on the side of A seemed to be the perfect distraction. If Leo doesn't have him on his radar, barrel spotted and kill granted. And there's the man advantage. SMB can definitely play with that.
Nice
but Sayf got a reply. That is very crucial. And so it is pAura who can be a key figure in this. He got the Hunter's Fury. If that spike goes down, you got to take him out swift and fast, because otherwise it's a time bomb. Most literally it is, but that's even more critical. And so the silence around the server, that 11 to 12, the pressure is big, their heart is racing, and Guild could most definitely make it into overtime. There have been bigger challenges for this team, and he's using it early. That has been now tap ones, and Yacine is out. Turko, is he not going to find anything more? No, it's only down to pAura, and they know where he stands. One is starting with, and Sayf, he's buying so much time. The clock is working in his favor, and we are going into overtime, Ryan. Guild have been fighting hard, and they deserve that one.
Maybe not quite intentionally meant to go that way, but it was a nice trap play that punishes Yacine, who wants to try and take that space early. Now, other people have to do it. pAura's cleared up a lot of space. I think if you could take out the silver in this position, not having that recon dart, those shock darts as well, it'd be good for draken.
They're faking that. I'm quite sure they're faking that because he wants to get pAura out of the position to get an easy kill on him.
Who's got the metal to check it? Draken was even expected overall. And now there's 3 players for SuperMassive Blaze over on the A site already. 3 more heading away from Guild.
And so they're holding them up again. 20 seconds. Sayf is though already on the high ground. That plant's not going to be easy. Can bonkar get it down? What in God's name is Sayf doing? The man's trying a bit of parkour, but it's not the right time to do so. bonkar is chanceless, and that spike will not hit the ground. No chance. 13th is granted. It's a tough one. They failed to capitalize, and against SMB, it's a bit concerning. Yacine makes up for the first death, the first round of overtime, and pAura wants to try and scale him out. He's happy to give up all that space and be protected. They just want to play off that player advantage. It's SMB who don't take the plunge this time around, as we saw them previously take some fast A hits and make them work and convert them into victories. But with a man disadvantage, it's not going to be as easy as you like it to be. Well, Izzy though, he's an X factor. Whiffs the first. bonkar eliminated, but Yacine got another reply, and I'm not quite sure if that was for the wall. No, he's playing on the edge of it. And that seems to be once more a retake that could work well. In the meantime, on the minimap, you already see that draken is trying to get the attention of a few players over there, whilst his teammates are obtaining room. But pAura around the corner could have a good play. Izzy is known, but it's only down to 1. That is pAura behind yellow, identified and spotted. Can he make that clutch work? Quickly, draken has to help, but Leo is extending the overtime.
Nice retake from Guild. Really well played from Yacine. Just if you watch where he is on the map, where he moves, the fact that he was over on B main, gets that initial kill, backs off to the site, and uses SuperMassive Blaze's toxic screen against him by getting into that snowman position. It's just if you watch where he goes in a line, it's
Gambit one. If the orb's laying, there it goes. But they will be welcomed soon.
Just going for that A hit. Instead of having those breach flashes, it's just going to be those layers coming in. And Russ wants to try and close that distance. That's a big kill for Yacine to get in. The utility is great, it always has been, but there is still a player on site. Izzy with the op, it's uncomfortable. Turko's around, he has a wall that can maybe boost up or just break the wall coming in from bonkar. It's a very passive hold.
Oh yeah, and this is good because they're purely playing this on the afterplan scenario, purely playing it on the afterplan scenario. The unfortunate part, Turko still has a wall, so it could actually be blocked by those items. As Brave is looking for frags individually, Yacine is eliminated. One shock dart came in, Sayf is trying to make it work time-wise, and it's time to make those work. And there you see it, there is the wall. It's working so well. Finally, it has been eliminated, but they are aware it's half. Draken is just going on the ropes, making a lot of noise, but Sayf, he's collecting those dark tacks and bringing the quad home.
One thing that you won't notice about that is just that utility that comes in yet again from Leo. It was the shock dart because Turko, he put up the wall, he was going for the full defuse, got halfway, and the shock dart takes him off for a second. Kind of allows Guild a second to go, wait, they've walled it, we need to break this, we need to fight this. The recon dart as well, it just makes things very difficult for SuperMassive Blaze to fully dedicate. And just that adjustment, it's here, you'll sort of see it. Like, Turko's fully going for it, the shock dart doesn't quite connect, but it pulls him away. The recon dart, again, stops him for a second, it allows that wall to be broken. It was definitely the idea of, like, Turko was expecting to be hit by the shock dart, so he got off of it, because there wasn't much of a utility coming in the way other than draken snake bites, perhaps. It was pandemonium, to be fair.
Yeah, sure. I mean, the thing is, you have to see where we're coming from a 4-10 for Guild. All that valiant efforts in the end for naught. This is what it looked like, but they have pulled through quite a bit, showed mental strength, and in the meantime, SMB, they were close. I mean, they were pretty much having a 2-0 in the bag, pretty much. And now Guild just went away from it.
To see Guild come back is just the potential for this team is always exciting. You see glimmers of a brilliant EMEA team in the making. A win on this map might see a little bit more when it comes to split. That's nice. Izzy trying to scale up that space. He's been a bit quieter and tried to do way too much. Got into the heads of SuperMassive Blaze, and Guild are looking to lock this one in.
He's finding Leo. That's crucial. No more information that the side of Guild will obtain. But Brave is playing that one close. Guild gotta have him on the radar. They must be aware of the young man and his skill, and there they come. Yacine takes out Turko, but it's Brave who might just lead the show, and it's his stage, it's his opportunity. But bonkar, he's having no chance. 54 points of health, and it's Brave with the quad. He's keeping the dream alive, and the Blaze is there. Another overtime we're getting ourselves.
It looked like Guild were gonna clinch it. I gotta say though, it's nice to see Brave in those positions, but that's really poorly played from Guild. They know exactly where he is, and they just peek this one by one. It's just they get into their heads a little bit. It's a beautiful kill onto the top of Sayf. But just at this point, just these two players, Yacine takes it slow. He's expecting Bug to play off of it, but he doesn't take enough tension. Brave is expecting it. That's a brilliant clutch, but it never should have happened in a million years.
Absolutely. And there's one minor thing that could have been done better, and that was the communication in that 1 versus 2. If bonkar and Yacine could have coordinated them right, that could have been it. That could have been it, but it didn't happen, so we have to go into another OT. And this time around, they're much more mid-focused. We haven't seen that often from the side of Guild.
This is where Draken came online when it came to playing against Gambit. But yeah, again, that's another first death to the table, and there's been quite a few of those on attack.
Yeah.
SuperMassive Blaze really do shut down that mid-presence, and if you're loud about it, they're going to add more bodies to it. The problem is, however, the Guild haven't really pushed anywhere else on the map to take that space. It's a little bit quieter on to B. Yacine's found a lot of space for seemingly free, despite using the dash and a couple of smokes. He doesn't have anything available to break through that site, and because there's no draken, yeah, there's no toxic screen.
It's the worst you could ask for, basically. It's all the safety, all the security you have, and they still decide to go for the side of B, which is the interesting aspect. That dart not getting anything towards Snowman, so they gotta be careful about that. He saw a bit of the head. Sayf is eliminated. Spike's going down nevertheless, and so he's having his little bodyguard with him. Yacine is trying his best. 100 HP is back on him. There gotta be one superb clutch where Yacine though falls first. It doesn't look like that will work. Another nice shock dart, but Brave is already halving it. He's keeping on, he's keeping on. And suddenly, the round is lost. What an awkward ending to this number 29. I mean, Leo is making a few nice frag movie shots out of it, but...
Switching sides. Match point.
It's just also that movement as well. Like, bonkar moves off of the site, checks behind him to see if there's anybody flanking from the attacker side spawn. But Yacine is still holding a very high line on B. It's 3 players alive. They completely spread themselves thin. Guild's defense has been pretty foolproof, but yet again, they lose a player early, and it's Sayf as well.
Toxin screen down.
Such an impactful individual Sayf has been. Draken don't mind just hit a good time in. He's dodging it. Has he been spotted though? Turko, is he aware of the player? Nope, that doesn't seem to be the case, but you gotta be careful from behind, because otherwise he gets beheaded. Unfortunate scenario for the Guild side of things. Man advantage is looking good for SMB, but we saw them make the impossible work, Ryan.
The Aldron isn't actually going to find where bonkar's playing from. Yacine is taking this very slowly. That is a nice kill. I think pAura just sort of oversteps, thinks the Aldron gets all of the information, but it's really more of a bait to pull these players from Guild away from that A site. It works. Leo's still alive with a shock dart. He uses it. It's going to come in onto the site now, but doesn't really connect to do that much damage. The Viper's Pit is available for Brave as well. Oh dear.
That's unfortunate. Bonkar false, but the impact frags they happen in the overtime for Yacine. The chances for Yacine, well, maybe not ideal, considering you're shooting pretty much just into green voids. Brave is playing on the edge. Infodart is coming in, but he's expecting him. That's so important. Only Izzy left alive. Can he clutch it out? 30 HP left, but Yacine is sealing the deal. My goodness, those are a few heart attack overtimes we're getting right here. Now, it gets quite interesting.
I don't think, like, the map pool is a really interesting one for both teams. Just because it's not like they're super strong on any of these maps.
Yep.
It's a very muddy map pool for both teams, which makes it the most exciting.
True.
Brave has been on fire the last few rounds. He's rarely come back. The young player, I think, had a bit of a mired performance at Masters, but he's learned a lot, and it's coming into play here. Killed a player early down again. Yacine's smile is going to be wiped off his face. Turko could get a little bit more. The duel is an awkward one for that Viper utility, but Sayf has made a lot of space, and they've scared off a couple of these SMB players.
The question is, how much space can Sayf generate from that point on? Wall comes up, tries to fake it. Good one, as they get a lot of room and frags over there on B. And as it seems, with all those corpses laying around the side of B...
Sayf sort of checks this.
Yep, he does, and... well, it could be another one added to the collection, but it seems like pAura is trying to buy some opportunities for Izzy, but Leo will definitely spot the barrel. Knock, knock. Who's there? Well, it's obviously Leo. Good frag from him, and that should be... no. That should be done, does it? But you know, those are the moments when chaos and drama is just coming in. pAura had a duel against a guy right-clicking. Most likely his rifle was just out of ammo. But it's still dramatic, it's still dangerous, and he has no clue what's happening. Leo's closing the case. 16-15.
Kaz kind of overstepping the mark a little bit. He could find everything, he could find absolutely nothing. The double take as well.
You know, wait, is this a dream? He's checking his left-hand side. But good stuff from pAura. Eliminated by Leo in the process, though, and it could be Guild making that one work. 32, 78, and 100. HP-wise, SMB's not in an ideal scenario, and considering the retake opportunities that Guild have right now, it could work so well. It's a matter of fact, I'm asking myself what will happen when Leo has that recon dart available once more. It's coming now, and it's going to be interesting to see what information he gains. Nothing off of it.
It's the most, like, basic one, but I think it sort of sums up just a bit of that intel. Now we're going to start to see that scaling moving forward, just because that toxic Viper util is going to allow a bit more movement forward, and Brave catching Leo on this angle would be big, but Leo's been pretty successful in these kind of positions before. He's not really phased by smokes, and in fact,
he's not.
Backs off expecting that kind of play.
This could become problematic. 30 seconds. SMB is not getting anything. And as bonkar takes out Izzy, it could be just their chance. It could be the round, it could be the game, it could be Icebox. It's going in their favor, and it is.